What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel on this Tuesday. 2 days, I guess. Yeah, 2 days before the big game against Sevilla. It's the biggest game of the season. It's in or out. We need to win an away game in Europe against a team that own the Europa League, a bit like Real Madrid own the Champions League. So it's a big task. I think more people are not optimistic considering the last game, considering the way we play and all those things mixed together. But you need to win. You need to find a way to win. But we will discuss that later tonight, tomorrow, and obviously Thursday post game, and then the days after if we did it or if we managed to not do it, because the season is on the line. Excuse me. If you win, you have a final to play. If you don't win, you're playing for nothing. The remaining 3 games in the Serie A, because we know what's coming. We know what's gonna happen. You probably also know what's gonna happen ahead of next season in terms of transfers if you don't get the Champions League money in. So, big week. In this video, I'm gonna talk about some more bad news, and it's Pogba, because it's obviously big, debate, big topic because of the things surrounding him happening on off the pitch, whatever, his signing, what to do in the future, all those things mixed together. It's a hot topic. So we're gonna discuss Pogba. But before we get into it, excuse me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's go. So, Pogba, he's out for the season. I think everybody knew that the moment he was crying on the pitch. I will start off with that again. Excuse me. It's sad. It's sad to see him like that, because it's his body. He's not asking for these injuries. A bit like Chiellini. It's just sad to see, because you can see how happy he is when he's out there on the pitch, and he takes just a random cross shot, whatever you want to call it, and he pulls his muscle basically, and you can see the way he went down and him crying. You knew the season was done. Everybody knew that, and it's been a terrible season. Like, he didn't even accumulate enough minutes to have played 2 games in total. It's not even that. So it's sad, because in the little he played, you can see, yes, it's obvious, he's heads and shoulders above anyone on that pitch. But it's not gonna help us. And for the future, I think people are suggesting, it will come good if he takes off enough time. Will it? That was the big question mark going into the season. When we signed him, I remember coming on and saying, I'm not for bringing X players back. I'm not for it. And I suggested, if you want to sign that type of player, sign Savic. Do I believe Pogba's better? Yes. He's more talented, but Savic can stay fit. Pogba cannot stay. And I'm saying Savic because those were the 2 names out there. And nothing against Pogba, but his injury record at Man U was scary. And this year, he topped that. He will go into next season, keep that in mind, without playing football for a year, basically. Because what he played the last couple of weeks, that's no football. Like, he will go into a new season, and I think he's 30. He will turn 31 without playing football for a year. That can never be good for anything, for fitness, for muscles, for match rhythm, anything. It's not a good sign. It's a very, very worrying sign. A lot of people saying, sell him. It's not going to happen, because nobody's going to take on the wages and anything. That's just not going to happen. Terminate his contract. That's also not what the club will do, especially not after year one. They will not do that. So I want to say it's pointless to discuss those topics or those outcomes now, but I think it will be kind of a waste of time for us, because those scenarios are not going to happen. You just need to look ahead and actually hope, like people are hoping, that somehow, some way, but it makes no sense because he's done it last year basically. Stay away from football for a bit and come back in the summer. But that's what he did last season. The only difference is he just came back for preseason, so it was all rushed basically. Now he needs a good 2 weeks. It's June, basically you have half June, and the season starts a bit later. You have a good month, 2 months completely off without, and training at a very intense level, playing and all those things. People are basically banking their hopes on that. Not me. It's actually, I don't know what's worse than hope. Like what's more desperate than hope, because it's that at this point. There's not any proof that him or he staying away for a couple of months in terms of not training, like a normal weekday basically, will do him good, because there's no proof. It's sad. It's a very sad situation, because obviously it adds quality, and with an eye on next season, it's a big worry. You're gonna lose Rabiot. He's gone, and he's always fit. So you basically are losing a 100% starter. I'm not gonna go into yes, he's quality Rabiot, or no, he's no quality. I'm not gonna do that. But purely based on he's available, you're gonna miss him. You're gonna lose him, and you're gonna miss him because it's a body less. You're gonna probably bring in Ravella, who has injury problems, and you're not sure is there money to bring in someone else, because this season has proven, even the previous season, you cannot really trust on Pogba. If he gives you, let's say you play 50 games in a season, you make it, you play Serie A, you make it to the semis of the Champions League. I'm just saying something, Coppa Italia. Let's say 50 games to make it easy. If you can play Pogba 30 games out of those 50, 90 minutes, that's already a miracle. It's a miracle, if you can manage to do that. I think actually even playing him 20, 21, like half of those games, 90 minutes out of the 50, it's already a win, quote unquote, in this in this current scenario, state, whatever you want to call it, because it's crazy. I think he played like 160 minutes in total, like one assist. I don't like the assist. Yeah, it mattered. It was a key one, but like not number wise, just the fact that he played so little is a very, very big worry. And that's not gonna flip. It's not gonna go from 160 to 3,000 next season. I'm just saying something. That's a big change. That's a big ask for somebody who has a terrible injury record and hasn't played football for over a year. Like, that's a very big ask. Rabiot, remember when he came first from PSG? He didn't basically play for a year. You remember how much he struggled, not really in ability and whatever on the pitch, but just fitness, like the intensity of the game. I remember the first couple of months. It was brutal to watch. It was actually brutal, because you can see he was off the pace. Now imagine that with Pogba, him also carrying the injuries he has over the last season and a half, like real operations, not like Rabiot just not playing because of, issues with PSG, off the field issues in terms of contracts. So it's a very sad situation. I'm not gonna say predictable, because as I knew injuries will take a big part or a big toll on the season, but not to this extent, because he's been out for a year. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But it's a big worry. It's a big worry, because the club, Allegri, they banked their hopes on having a fit a fit Pogba to make the difference. Well, that hasn't happened. So, yeah, man, it's sad, but not really a surprise. Maybe this is a surprise for only playing 160 minutes, but not a surprise in terms of him being out and not being fit. I don't think that's a surprise. But again, let me know in the comments. Be realistic, because the club is not going to sell him. It's because, just keep in mind, if you want him out because of this, who's going to get him because of this? Terminate his contract. The club's also not going to do that when he has, I think, 2 + 1 year left on his deal. Then they rather keep him and see if he can stay fit, because again, you still need to pay him if you terminate his contract. Let me know in the comments. Just be realistic. What do you think about the situation? And yeah, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you probably again tonight for the last, or like for my final kind of preview ahead of the Sevilla game. Thanks for watching, and see ya.